In honor, okay, in honor of today being, listen today, was I gonna start talking? Okay, I should plan out what I want to say. What am I stepping on? Okay, today in honor of, what's wrong with me? Why can't I know exactly what I need to say. Hello. Okay, and today, I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but wrong. Take it from the top? Okay, in honor of today being this shopping phenomenon of a day called Black Friday, I don't know if they do it everywhere in the world. I know it's in that we do in the US. It's called Black Friday. It is like a not real shopping holiday. It is the day after Thanksgiving. Stores have like major sales and they drop their prices and you can get a lot of Christmas presents early for good deals. But in honor of everyone going out and shopping and buying stuff today online, some people are traveling to the stores, whatever. So to kind of flip the script and not talk all about stuff that I want to buy or things that I want or that are on my Christmas list, I'm going to do the 10 best things I ever bought. Let's go. One of the best things I ever bought. You guys might remember the dinosaur painting from a couple videos ago of the wine and paint night. That's not it. This amp, this is a guitar amp. Actually, I'm not really sure what type of amp this is, but my friend in college had this amp because she played the guitar. She says, I'm going to get rid of it. I don't want it anymore. And I said, how much do you want for that? And can I hook up my iPod to that amp and play music off of it? She said, yeah. So I have this cord. I do not play a musical instrument that involves this amp. I had this throughout 2 college houses. Oh, a dorm room, 2 college houses. And I brought it back here. This is one of the best purchases I ever made. I bought it off of her for $75. So I just Googled amps. You can buy them and find them as low as $40. But in this case, I didn't have to do any research. I didn't have to be like, what type of amp should I get? She literally was like, give me $75. I'll give you this amp. It works for what you want it to do. So I'll call it a good deal still. Because I like my music loud. I like my music as loud as possible. This was great for house parties. You could crank it so high. You could barely touch this knob and the music will be as loud as you ever need it to be. You can change the bass and the treble, which I don't really know how to do. This is just as good as like any speakers I would have bought and way cheaper. And I love lugging this thing around. People think I play like the guitar. This is one of the best purchases I ever made because it's useful. I like it, serves its purpose, and I got a good deal. All right, this next purchase is very small. It's almost not even noticeable, but I have it on me at all times. It is my conch piercing. I love all of my piercings a lot. I think they were all good purchases. I also got all of those at a pretty good price. They all kind of signify life goals that I've come to. Not life goals, like certain time frames in my life. My conch piercing is this one. It's just a barbell that runs through the back of my ear. I love this one specifically because, again, I got it done in Ireland. Going to Ireland for 2 weeks as part of a college trip was some of the best 2 weeks of my life. It just was so amazing to get out and travel because I've not traveled a lot in my life and my family is partly Irish. It was just an overwhelmingly different experience that I've never had before. I had so much fun in Ireland. We spent some time in Ballyvan and then we spent a whole week in Dublin. And in Dublin, a bunch of girls went and got some tattoos and piercings done. And I was like, I definitely want to go. I can't commit to a tattoo right now because I'm indecisive, but I've always at that point I had a bunch of piercings done. I was like, I really want my conch done. It's kind of just like random where it sits. I surprisingly love it. Next on my list is my college diploma. Yes, this is something that I haven't even paid for yet. It's so dusty. I'm still paying for it. I pay for it every month. Hello, student loans. Love you. But yes, I've talked about it many times. I got the dust on my sweatshirt. Get out of here. This is my merch if you want to buy merch. What was I gonna say? I've talked about it many times on across my social media platforms, but I went to the University of Wisconsin, Oshkosh, for radio, TV, film. It's basically a media production degree. That's what it says on the thing anyways. Bachelor Arts. Yeah. Doesn't even say my major on it. It just says the college. Awesome. For me personally, college was the best option. I definitely wanted to go to college. I definitely wanted to get out of my hometown, even if it was one state away, even if it was for a couple of years. I loved college. I met a lot of friends. I learned a lot about myself. And college also solidified that who I was going into college was like a pretty solid person to begin with. Making friends at the beginning of college was definitely hard, but you just learned how to do it. At the beginning, you're like, am I not cool enough to have friends? Am I not I'm an interesting enough person? And then slowly as you make friends, when you find the right people, then you're like, yeah, I was an awesome person before. I just couldn't find the other awesome people yet. I had so much fun in college. I even went an extra semester. I told my parents it was because I had some classes I didn't take and whatever. But really, I was just hanging out with my friends, doing some last minute projects. So I loved college. I never would regret all the money that I've spent on college. Mine was like, as far as like how expensive colleges are, mine was not up there. Mine was not super, super expensive, but I'm still paying for it monthly. So I don't regret making that decision. I should have saved money and paid for it as I was in college, but like I didn't see that in the future. So now I'm paying for it through student loans after the fact. So I would change that, but I wouldn't change going to college. I loved it. Another category on the list you could say would be movies and books. When I was a child and a teenager growing up, you didn't just get to stream movies online. You had to buy physical DVD copies, VHS, then DVDs. I haven't bought a DVD in years. I just don't feel the need to have like a physical copy of many movies. But the movies that I do have that I have in my collection now, you can tell they really shaped my comedy and my love for media and storytelling. One specific movie is She's the Man. She's the Man stars Amanda Bynes, Channing Tatum. It was a 2006 rom-com. I just love this movie. So the basis of the movie is that she pretends to be her brother at this private school that she goes away to so that she can play soccer with the boys because the girls' team got cut. And there's something about this movie about how just funny and quick and witty it is. And on top of that, Amanda Bynes did not play, for the most part, this girly girl. She was just this funny comedian and this funny actress. And I think it subconsciously shaped my mind to be like, yeah, girls can be just as funny and they don't have to be, she's wearing like a tank top on the cover, but she's mostly dressed as a boy for the whole movie. So I think subconsciously kind of shaped my mind to be like, you can look like anything and be funny. So of course a movie like that helped, and I'm so glad that I bought this DVD. I have 2 sets of this DVD. I'll probably always keep this just as a reminder of where my comedy roots kind of lie. Other than that, books. I wish I read more books. I really do. When I read a good book, I get sucked in. When I was younger, I exclusively only read books that were about like dogs, like talking dogs. That was my thing. Growing up more, I just love a good novel, a good story that sucks me in. I mean, I'll just sit down and read the whole book by itself. These are just a couple that I've read somewhat recently. This is Beartown by Frederick Backman. There's a 2-part series, I believe. I have both books. Just an amazing story. It's about a little hockey town. This one, I've talked about her before all over my TikTok, but her name's Colleen Hoover. She writes these like young romance novel books. Puts such a good story behind them. I love that. And this other one is called The Opposite of Loneliness. It's essays and stories by Marina Keegan. Well, this is like stories and essays that she wrote, but it's just so interesting, and she's such a good writer. I don't really like reading books on a Kindle or anything. It's not my style. I love a physical book. Just like when I was in school, I loved a physical textbook. No matter how heavy the textbook was, I love a good physical textbook, something I can read and then throw, This next one is sticky notes. You're probably thinking like, that's one of the top 10 things you've ever bought is sticky notes. Listen, I continuously buy sticky notes. I love writing down a very important thing on a brightly colored piece of paper. It brings me joy. My whole entire office is covered in them. A great invention. I mean, a little piece of paper with some adhesive on the back that sticks to the wall. What else could you ask for? I love other office organization things. I love a good like pull-out tray with all little organizing stuff. I love a good tape roll, like the little binder clips, paper clips, thumbtacks. I love office organization. I just love Post-it notes. I think I just love the invention more than the fact that I spend money on them. But they're not even that expensive, and you get a bunch of them, and you get all different colors. It's hard to explain, but Post-it notes keep me sane. So they're definitely one of the top 10 things that like brings me joy / I'm glad I spend money on. Now I sound dumb. I don't care. I love Post-it notes. Another one of the best things I ever spent money on was a couple specific pairs of shoes. Now I'm a person, I love shoes. I don't like wearing shoes. This is a combat boot type of looking shoe. It's not a real combat boot. These were like the Payless Walmart version of them. Actually, I have a better pair than these. Hold on. Okay. I don't know why I like shoes so much. I don't like all shoes. I don't like really expensive shoes. I just like shoes that I like. They're good walking shoes. If you're going out, they're like high, like the sloshing and whatever of the snow if you live in the Midwest. Listen, there's a couple pairs of shoes I absolutely love. I have a couple pairs of these combat boots that I wore all throughout college that I just love. It just reminds me of all the memories, all the steps I took, metaphorically, physically, whatever. Me going to college reminds me of a combat boot. And also when I went to Ireland, I don't know where those boots are, but I definitely kept them. When I went to Ireland, I had this specific pair of like these brown boots with like a darker cuff, and I kept those because like it just reminds me like these boots have touched Ireland. Like, these have touched the greenest grass, these, this and that. It reminds me of that whole trip, so I kept them. And they're just good shoes. I love shoes that serve their purpose. I don't really splurge. I think the most expensive pairs of shoes I ever bought, besides like athletic shoes, has to be like $50. Maybe like 60, but like, but if I would have spent that much, it would have been on a shoe that I've bought before, and I was like, these are good, I'm just gonna buy them, this is what I like. But yeah, I love shoes. I don't necessarily like wearing them. There's a couple pairs of special shoes that I have. I'm so glad I spent the money on, and I love them. They hold a lot of good memories. Okay, another thing that I love that I spent money on, not that I love that I spent money on, I think was a good purchase, one of the top 10 things I ever bought, was this camping chair. It's too cold to put out right now, but I will show you a picture insert. I don't even know if it's a camping chair. It is a blow-up lounge chair. It's like this long, almost like a hot dog bun looking thing, and it has 2 chambers on it, and you like run it in the wind on a windy day, and you roll up the end and you just buckle it together, and then you sit like in the middle crack. I love this chair. I think I really like this product, not only because it serves its purpose, and I got it at a really good price. I think I got it for like right under $20, and I've seen them a lot more expensive now that people are looking for them. But more than that, it was like nobody else really had one of these chairs in my friend group or out of anyone I know. Like, I'm the one that discovered these chairs and then told everyone about them, which is like a walking advertisement. Whatever. I love this chair, considering I live like in the suburbs of what is declared as the Windy City of Chicago. We always have wind. All you have to do is blow this up. You can sit on, you can lounge it. I've done day drinking. I've just sat outside myself. It serves its purpose, and it was a reasonable price when I bought it. I love this chair. And it's purple. I love purple. This one, okay, is another article of clothing. This is a hat that says bum on it. Back in high school, me and a couple of my friends got these special personalized hats that we went and got threaded at a place called Lids, and we called ourselves the Bums. It wasn't meant as like a derogatory term. It was nothing negative. We meant it as in, I'm pretty sure it was just like we were bumming around. We were not the kids in high school. This is in high school. We were not the kids in high school that were like trying to dress to the nines and impress everybody and be like, I'm so cool, blah, blah. We would literally just like wear sweatpants. All we cared about was hanging out with each other. Just like we would have, I don't know, like 7 bonfires in a row, like a whole week of just having bonfires, sitting around a fire, talking. So we called ourselves the Bums. More importantly, I don't really wear this hat as often anymore, but when I went to college, it's a 3-hour drive from my house back and forth to college. And every single time that I was coming home or going towards college, if it was like specifically like I'm coming home for Christmas or I am leaving from Thanksgiving break to go back to college, I would wear this hat on my trip. So it's more sentimental in that sense that this is something from my high school days and my high school friends I brought with me to college, and it was a good luck charm, and it kept me safe from getting to home to college. So yeah. Another one on the list is going to be sports. This is a volleyball. You can't really tell. It's a deflated, splatter painted volleyball, but it was in my room. I played sports growing up. I did swimming because I love water. I sucked at it. I did volleyball for many years. I did water polo, and I played rugby in college. Sports wasn't technically something I spent my money on. My parents spent money on, but I think if you added up all the money that was spent on me playing sports growing up, and was like, you could either never have played sports and never have those memories again, or you could pay this amount of money and have all that back. I think I would pay that amount of money back. I say that sports is probably one of the best things you can, put your money into and invest, is because you might, make something out of it and go on to play college and high school or whatever. But also playing sports got me out of my comfort zone, and I was a shyer kid when I was little. It got me out of being shy. In volleyball, you have to be very loud and vocal. It really helped me like fill in my personality and become my goofy self, and it made me strong. My body was like in good shape. It was just amazing. I wouldn't take back any of those memories, good and bad, from playing sports. I loved it. I love that that's part of my past, and I don't know, I think it's cool. So that's one of the playing sports is one of the best things anybody for me could have spent money on. Okay, the last best thing I ever bought or invested in was deodorant. Yeah, I stink and I reek, so I love a good deodorant. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just, of course, you should have guessed. Number 10, it's got to be Aloe the cactus. Okay, he's up there. This is him. He is the reason I even have a career right now. And I guess he's not the reason. This was like a jumping off point for my career in social media at the moment as a content creator. So of course, Aloe has to be on the list of the top 10 things I ever bought, because he changed my life. I still have the receipt that I bought him on, and usually I'm bad at keeping receipts, because this was just like, a personal purchase among the other things. I actually think I bought deodorant the day I bought Alloy. It should be on here. No, I bought underwear. Great. But I kept this one after the video blew up. I like found it back in the bag. It says cactus. I spent $3.74. So there's a quote that I like that says, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. This $3.47 cactus changed my life. You never know what can change your life. So that is one of the best things I ever spent money on. It's bizarre. It still blows my mind. I'm keeping this receipt forever. Thank you guys for watching. If you're going to participate in some Black Friday shopping, be smart. Look for the deals. Only buy it if you need it. I mean, I'm going to try and look at some stuff. Who knows what I'll buy? Who knows what I'll splurge on? But yeah, have a great, happy holiday weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you around. Bye!